Hey Divination, thank you for joining us in this live stream. Today we'll show you how to turn the shop module into product swipe cards with Divi. So we won't need an extra plugin, we'll use some custom code and make tweaks within our elements. And we'll use the stationary shop layout pack to accomplish this tutorial. And if you haven't checked out Divi yet, make sure that you do. I've mentioned a link in the description below where you can go ahead and discover everything for yourself. And without any further ado, let's get to it. Alright, so let's start off by taking a quick look at the layout pack which we'll use. It's called the Stationary Shop Layout Pack, and you can find it by going to elegantthemes.com/layouts, and over here you can find all of the different layout packs that come with Divi for free. And if you scroll down, you'll come across one of the most recent ones being the Stationary Shop Layout Pack. If you click on it, you will view all of the different layouts that come with this layout pack, and you can view the live demo by clicking on the blue button, and this will redirect you to a live website. Now within this live stream tutorial, we're going to use Divi's shop module, so the built-in module that you can access, to create product swipe cards. So on desktop, we're keeping this kind of grid system going on with the shop module, but on smaller screen sizes, it might be efficient for you to use swipe cards, which will allow you to show more products at once and add some user experience in there, some user behavior where people can just swipe to the left and the right to see the different products that you're sharing. So over here, I have the outcome of that. So if I go like this or just swipe, all my products show up, and then I can scroll back and it goes back. So we'll accomplish this using Divi's built-in shop module and a little bit of custom code, but just a little to make this effect work. We'll use the grid display property, and let's get started. So before I get into this, I'm just gonna see if you guys are joining in. So I see a lot of people on YouTube already. Hi guys, if you guys have any questions, make sure that you leave a question. I hope you will enjoy this tutorial. And I see some people are joining in on Facebook as well. So let's get started. Now the first thing you will need is a page, obviously with a shop module in it. Over here I have the landing page of the stationary shop layout pack, and I've also added some products to the back end of my website. So you'll need WooCommerce and some products. So if I go to my products over here, you will notice that I have 10 products. It all depends on how many you want to show up, but just have some in place. Start working on an e-commerce website that you have close by so you can dive right into the tutorial. Now over here I've created this landing page, so if you haven't done that already, so created a page with a shop module, go ahead and do that. And I'm just going to enable the visual builder at the top over here to start working on the design. Alright, so I'm going to locate the section containing my shop module, which is the following one. And before I make actual changes to the shop module, I'm going to open my row settings first. So the row containing the shop module. And I'll go to the design tab. And over here in the sizing settings, I'm going to modify the width of my row. So as you can notice over here, the row touches both sides of the section container and thus of the screen, and this is a nice effect where a product doesn't get cut off by the end of a row. So on desktop, as mentioned before, we're keeping the same outcome, this grid design. So the product swipe cards are most efficient for smaller screen sizes. You can definitely do this on desktop as well, but people will need to use the scrolling bar manually, especially those on desktop that are using a PC or a Mac. That can get a little bit difficult. So to avoid that, we're just focusing on creating those product swipe cards on smaller screen sizes where the user experience comes in really handy and people enjoy this kind of effect. So, which means that on desktop, we're keeping 80%. But on tablet and phone, we'll change this into 100% so it can touch both sides of the section container. And also not important, also really important actually, not important not to forget, I wanted to say, is hiding the overflows. And the overflows will just make sure that there's no extra scroll bar in our design. And over here within the visibility settings of our row, we're going to set both of them to hidden. And thus we'll just make sure that on desktop, for instance, there's no scroll bars, but also on smaller screen sizes, the only scroll bar that will be there is the one of the shop module. So we don't want a double scroll bar, and that's the reason why we're doing this. All right, now we can go back to our shop module. And we're going to make a few changes over here. So I'm going to open the shop module settings. And over here, you can pick whatever you want. So on desktop, it doesn't matter what kind of column layout you're using. We're just picking 4, for instance, but you can use any kind of column layout you want. And we'll set the product count to 8. So the first product swipe card mechanism that we'll create will contain 8 products, and depending on how many products you want to show up, you'll need to make some changes, which I'll explain later on as well. Now in the design tab, in the sizing settings of our module, we're going to increase the width and the max width on smaller screen sizes. So again, this is the same on desktop, but on tablet we're using 250%. And this will automatically be inherited by phone as well. And we'll do the same with the max width. So we'll keep the normal max width on desktop, and on tablet and phone we'll use 250%. And this will just increase the size of our module container. And in the advanced tab, we're going to use a CSS class, just anything you want, as long as you replace it within the code as well. Now, another important part is determining the overflows of your shop modules. So on desktop, that'll be hidden for both options, but the horizontal overflow All right, so I lost you guys there a little bit. I hope I'm back right now. So I'm just going to take a quick look at the comment section to see if you guys have any questions so far. So we've made the changes to the shop module. So that's the first part. So the row of our shop module and the shop module itself. And now we can continue. So what we'll need to do right now is add a code module, and that code module will help us add the code that we need to turn this into a product swipe card mechanism. Yeah. All right, so I'm just gonna add this code module right below my shop module. Doesn't really matter where you add it. And over here, I'll just add the CSS code, and then I'll go over the CSS code with you guys as well. Just one more check to see if everything's functioning. Seems like it is functioning right now. All right, so let me just grab the code really quick and add it to that code module. Here we go. So this first line over here indicates that we're only making the changes on smaller screen sizes. And over here, we're turning the products into a grid with certain columns. So for instance, in the shop module settings, we used 8 modules, so 8 products that will show up. So we're creating a separate column for each one of those modules. And we're also assigning a percentage to them. So there will be 8 kind of columns with those products in, and this is the width that they get assigned. And we're also making sure that there's a slight gap, as you could notice over here. There's a slight gap going on. And over here, this is also very important. We're also assigning a width to the container of all of the products. So this will be modified later on to change the product count, and this as well. So these two are very important. The other ones just help it, function properly. We're also hiding the scroll bar, which will only be applied on browsers like Chrome, and I think it's also like Safari hides them as well. On Firefox, there will still be a scroll bar, but on smaller screen sizes, that scroll bar looks really good, so there's no issue there. All right, let me just save this really quick and show you guys the outcome and how easy it was to achieve it. Let me switch over here to the preview on a smaller device. And here we have it. So obviously, once you add this to a phone, people will just be able to swipe through them. All right, now say you want to add this kind of mechanism to to a shop module with less products. You can do that as well, but you'll need to manually tweak some values. So let me just show you really quick what I mean. Over here I have 8 products. Let me change that to 4 really quick, right? And if I preview this, now I'll have some extra space that I don't want, as you can notice over here. And you can easily modify these values to make sure that the swipe cart mechanism stops at the end of the last product. If I open this code module over here, I'll be able to modify the columns in my grid over here. So I'll change that to 4, and I'm also going to change the percentage. So obviously, because we have less products, we want them to take up more space. And then it's also important to change the width over here. So depending on how many products you want to show up, you'll have to manually tweak these 2 values over here to make it match. So it's going to work on any kind of shop module you create with 4 products or 8 products. I've shared these 2, so for 8 products and for 4 products. And now if I refresh this, it stops at the end, which is really cool. Now you can use this to display as many as you want. So you can just clone this. Let me just clone it really quick. And you can hide, you can remove the code module in the second one, and the same code will still apply. So the important part is using that CSS class in your shop module if you want it to be applied to the shop module in question. So if I just remove the CSS class over here, you'll see that it becomes a normal shop module again. So here we have the normal one. So this is something that you can change back in the shop settings and in the row settings, and we have one that is a product swipe cart mechanism. All right, so let me just take one final look at the comments to see if you guys have any questions. Doesn't seem so. All right. Thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, and we hope that you're enjoying this ongoing Divi design initiative where we try to put something extra into your design toolbox each and every week. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.